everyone, it's Verity from inkybutterfly.wordpress.com. Thank you for joining me again today. So we're going to work with Blossoms in Bloom bundle today. I'm only going to use one of the sentiments on this main stamp set, but I just wanted to show you the stamp set as well. So this is just that's just one image in this set. So I can't wait to actually get that inked up and show you something else to do with that. But for today, my project's only going to be using the sentiments out of this set. What I really wanted to play with was the coordinating dies. The dies are called Many Layered Blossoms, and in a way they actually work quite well independently of the stamp set. I can just pull them out for you. There's two sheets and you get like a fine outline image and then this sort of thicker, bulkier one as well, and they layer together. Very similar to a butterfly set that we've got as well, which I haven't actually used. I may well bring that to you soon too. Okay, so yeah, so I wanted to have a play with these. Okay, now I'm not going to die cut them on video because you know it's noisy and takes some time, and I wanted to just show you how I'm going to use them today. So this is the sample card that I'm going to replicate for you in a different colour. Okay, so this uses Gorgeous Grape for the base card. Then we've got Highland Heather cut with that sort of chunkier die, and I've used black for the outline die. And then, like I say, I've just taken one of the sentiments and I've added it there to the bottom and heat embossed it onto black card. Okay, so as you can see, so the dies actually make great card fronts just on their own. Mess about with the colour, do all sorts of things, and in the catalogue there's a couple of really cool ideas. Meant to get the page out. Let me just turn to the page for you. It's got that like multicoloured effect, and then this one looks like it's been layered together, possibly very vanilla actually, over the top. But then the centres have been coloured with blends or something. So a couple of ideas there, and then the bag just uses the outline as just something decorative, and that's been cut down to size. And then similar over here, just mixed the colours up and done something. So we've still got some left. Only have English ones at the moment, so, but yeah, do let me know if you need one. Okay, so we're gonna go yellow for the card I'm gonna make. So like I say, I did some of the prep because I wanted to just to sort of see how I'll put it together rather than necessarily the die cutting and stuff, but I will heat emboss the sentiment and stuff. So so my card base is crushed curry. Lovely. Could use Bumblebee, I guess. So now I've gone with So Saffron for this layer, and then sticking with the black for this one. Okay. Right, so I discovered that it was easier to tack this onto my card base first and then put the black over the top once that's in place, because the little bits just move about a bit and it's just a bit fiddly. So if this is tacked down, it'll just help everything in. So you can probably see I'm just dabbing some glue on the thicker parts of the image, little bits towards the edge here and there, just to make sure the edges are down, a couple of spots in the middle there. Okay, so just a few dabs of glue. The Tombow glue is very sticky, you don't need much. Okay, and it does fit a UK card base. So our card bases are a little narrower than the American ones. So American cardstock is the letter size, so it's 8.5 by 11. So they make their card bases 4.5 by 5 3/4, I think. Whereas ours are a little taller but narrower. So I'm using my really large, is it an F block, to actually weight that down and make sure that's stuck in place. So I'm just going to leave that to one side to dry while we heat emboss the sentiment. I've already prepped a strip of cardstock there. Just bring out my little tidy tray. Versamark sticky ink. Already mounted my my stamp on my H block. And so if you're just starting out, H blocks and D blocks are possibly the most used blocks that I have in my collection. Most things seem to fit, and we're just going to stamp that straight. Just put that to one side. Sprinkle the powder over the top and tap off that excess. Oh, let's not tap off the stuff we want though, shall we? Okay. Get a good old flick. You don't want all those little speckles on there really, but we'll get as many off as we can. Right, I do need to tidy this away. If I don't tidy this away, it's going to end up somewhere and going to make a mess. So I'm just going to brush that away. Tidy that up a little bit before I'll do it properly in a bit. Right, I'm going to run the heat tool down by my side to warm up a little bit and then bring it in. It is quite loud, so you might want to just turn down your volume for a minute. So now that's warmed up, just going to bring that in. And heat that up. You don't want to overheat it. If you overheat it, it can actually make it look dull again. There we are. So I'm going to just flag the ends. Now we do have a banner punch that will like notch in the ends and make a banner. But if you're short on a budget, this tailor tag will actually banner your ends quite nicely with this point here. So if you turn it over and slide your cardstock in and centre that up where you want it, and just press that down from the bottom, we get that nice little flag end there. Okay, so there's a little top tip and another way to use the punch. Right, this should be dry enough now. A few little specks of glue have just squished out, and that's okay. The glue dries clear, so you don't need to worry too much about that. And I'm not even that concerned if some of it hasn't quite stuck down. It just gives it a little bit of dimension. Just gonna trim down that a little. Now, how are we going to stick this to that? Because there isn't much room for glue, not like the other layer. Okay, so I'm going to show you a little technique using one of our little silicone mats, okay, and this contraption. So this is half of a stamping sponge. The sponges are round, so I've cut it in half and used a trusty clothes peg to make a kind of a dauber. So I'm going to lay this face down onto the silicone sheet. You can see where I've kind of been before. Actually, it dries on. It does dry clear, and this sheet will clean up no problem. It'll once I'm finished with this, I'll take it to the sink and I'll give it a good. So I'm just going to use my little tool to just pounce that glue over the back of here. It's not going to take much to make this stick down. You want to try and keep it as still as possible, because if you move the die cut on the sheet, you'll get glue on the front, if you know what I mean. If you dip it in where you've been. So when you're happy you've got enough on there, I'll say it may not be perfect, but it'll do. When you're happy you've got enough on there, just lift that off. I'm going to take that out of the way. So just warm soapy water will get all that off, no problem. I'll lift that up. And this glue dries quite quickly, it goes tacky quite quickly, and you will find that because it's such a thin layer of glue, it pretty much sticks there and then. So just, you'll be able to move it a little, but just bear that in mind, it will stick. No problem. I'm just going to give that a press down with that. These big blocks, they are, you can see how big they are, but they're really useful for holding down and stuff, and they're a great watercolour palette as well. That's another way to use those. It's not very often I get this big block out, and most of the time it's not for stamping, but it has its use. Doesn't that look great? Oh, I love it. Yellow is not my colour generally, but I really like that. I think that so saffron with the crushed curry looks really, really good. You could, I suppose, fill in the centres a little bit and make them a little different shade, but I'm not going to fuss with it. I'm just going to leave it as it is. So we're going to pop our sentiment down here. So I stuck a dimensional behind it, so we could probably squeeze in a couple behind there, and maybe so right at the end there. I'm going to use the mini ones. I could probably squeeze a couple on here just to be sure. I resisted the urge to add any gems or anything as well. I thought I'll just let the die do the work on this one. Let's try and get that straight, shall we? I think that's it. There we go. That was nice and quick, wasn't it? Hope you like the glue technique. A little tip there. Isn't that lovely? I really like that one. So, mix and match your colours then. See what colours you come up with. I'd love to see what combinations you decide. I mean, I've gone with sort of tone on tone, if you like, but you could just as easily have I would love to see, in fact I might even do it, black car base, some melon mambo on the this bit and then maybe a white outline. Whew, I think that would pop. Bermuda Bay as well. I love Bermuda Bay. I love the bright colours. So there you go. Thank you very much for joining me today for my little video. I will link to a blog post that will list all the supplies I've used, and that will be a direct link to the shop in there. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and if you want to see more from me, please do tap the notifications bell. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.